Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. I gave my first impressions on the core set stuff yesterday. The new cards, the old cards, the rework cards, whatever you want to call it. We did that yesterday, so let's take a look at the actual brand new expansion content forged in the Barrens. A bunch of the cards were revealed at BlizzCon. Let's give our first impressions on what we think about them before we review them at the end of the review season. Again, I'm not giving star ratings until all the cards are released, but let's give first impressions. Let's get excited. Let's take a look. So here we go, starting off with the neutral legendary Mancrick. I don't know. I'm bad with this lore. I keep saying that. You guys can always let me know how badly I'm pronouncing it. But it's a 3-mana 3/4 neutral legendary, meaning battle cry. Help Mancrick find his wife. She was last seen somewhere in your deck. So you like shuffle his wife into the deck, and when she's summoned, it goes face. She goes face. She hits face, and she's a 3/10, which is pretty good. This card's really flavorful. It's really kind of cool. You get some smorking, you get a big body. Like, you play this on 3, if you get the wife right away after, that's actually absurd. That is like a lot of stats. So that there's some high roll potential. Maybe if you have a way of tutoring out cards that didn't start in your deck, like the 5-drop for Rogue, which I think rotates, but you could play this in Wild, cheat that out. You know, that could be pretty ridiculous. So cool card, super flavorful, and I would love to know more about the lore. I need to look into that. That's a pretty cool card. We have Shadowhunter Vol'jin, but we talked about this card already on my expansion announcement video, so if you want to check out that, check it out there. You can play it right now. Pretty cool card. Then we have Blade Master Samaro, 4-mana 1/6 neutral legendary minion. It has Rush with Frenzy, the new keyword. Deal damage equal to this minion's attack to all enemy minions. So if this has buffed up to like 6 attack, it'll do 6 AoE, something ridiculous and pretty good in like a hand buff deck. But the thing I was thinking of, you put this in like Libram Paladin, you play Blade Master with a bunch of Libram of Wisdoms. That's ridiculous board clears. So there is some potential with this card as it stands alone, like right there at 4 mana. Not great, 1 attack, 1 AoE for, but if you can buff it up reliably, like with a Libram, it's pretty good. I saw people saying Barov, but I mean, you got better, cheaper ways of activating Barov, but maybe it's just extra redundancy with Barov. Who knows? It's a really solid card. Next, we have Brook, the Shaman legendary, 4-mana 5/4 premium stats, nature, spell damage +3. So all nature spells get +3, and I believe it's only on like Lightning Bolt, not on Lava Burst. I have to look into it. We'll figure that out for the full-on review, but yeah, that's an incredible amount of spell damage for pretty cheap. And if you can pile it up with some pretty good early burn, you could kill an opponent. You could just get ridiculous AoE swings. It's a really potentially powerful card. We see how good spell damage is, and when you have some really good spell damage stuff going on in Shaman, it doesn't see a lot of play, but a lot of it's dual class with the Mage, and you see how well Mage is doing. It just takes one card to put it over the top, and maybe Brookhand could do that, and it can even probably discover this with like Primordial Study. So really powerful card. We have Spirit Healer. It's a neutral epic, 4-mana 3/6 after you cast a holy spell. So again, spells with the Holy Tribe. Give a random friendly minion +2 health. We haven't seen like the health buffing stuff working out so much. There's like that minion in Priest right now that 4-mana 3/6 kind of does a similar thing when you have like healing effects, gains health, and that's seen like absolutely no play. No reason to think this will yet, but we'll have to see as the more cards get revealed what it can do. But pretty underwhelming type of card, more of like a demonstrator of what specific tribe spell stuff can do. Next, we have Chain Lightning, and you can see it says rank 1. I'll get into that in a second. And then deals 2 damage to a minion and a random adjacent one, upgrades when you have 5 mana. So these cards like reward longer play. So at 2, when you're from 0 to 4 mana, it will deal 2 damage to a minion and a random one. 2 mana deal 4 is fine. When you get to 5 mana, so you have 5 mana crystals, it will deal 3 to each. So 2 mana deal 6, and then when you have 10 mana, it'll deal 4. 2 mana deal 8. So it's very flexible. It's not like it costs more, and it's just a pretty solid removal spell. And Shaman actually doesn't have great early removal. They have like big sweeping board clears and landslides, okay, but this card probably helps out a bit. It can get to stealth minions, which is nice, as long as they have one non-stealth. So pretty solid card, and I like the design of it. I like the upgrade style stuff. I think that's really cool to reward playing a bit more into the long game. So we have a Druid Epic, Druid of the Plains. It's a beast. It has Rush. It's a 7-mana 7/6, and it has Frenzy as well. Transform into a 6/7 Kodo with Taunt. So it's kind of reminiscent of like Coil Fang Warlord for Demon Hunter, except instead of having death rattle, it has frenzy, so it has to hit something and survive. So if it dies, it takes what, 6 damage. It won't turn into the taunt. But other than that, it's very proactive, and then you gain taunt with it. So this could be really good. Coilfang Warlord is actually an insane card in Demon Hunter, but it's in Demon Hunter, so you don't play it. But yeah, we'll have to see. Potentially very powerful. I mean, it's a 7 mana, what, 13/13 in principle? That's pretty good, but it does transform and lose a bit of health if it does that. So there's a lot of moving parts of this card, but it seems interesting and could see some play. We have Sun Scale Raptor, 1 mana, 1/3 beast for Hunter, premium stats, frenzy. Shuffle a Sun Scale Raptor into your deck with permanent +2/+1. So basically you can go infinite with this little guy. And do you care about doing that with Hunter? Not really, but it's a 1 mana 1/3 beast, and maybe that is good for your strategy. Maybe you want to top deck a 1 mana 3/4 and then a 1 mana 5/5 or whatever, right? It's going to continuously buff. My comparison is to like the Journey to Angoro 1-drop. It was a 1 mana 2/1 that shuffled a 4/3 into your deck, and that card sucked because you didn't really want to draw a 4/3 ever. So I don't know if this card will be like that, but this is infinite. This is ongoing as long as it survives the damage it takes. So interesting card. I think it just gets played like a Dire Mole quite often, where it's a 1 mana 1/3 beast that's good enough. That's pretty good. So pretty crazy card in some regards, but you know, it might just end up being Dire Mole, which again was a really good card. Next we have Imp Swarm at 2 mana Warlock spell, summon a 3/2 Imp. Wow, 2 mana 3/2 Flame Imp is balanced, except that's the rank 1. This is one of these upgrade cards. So when you hit 5 mana, you get 2 3/2 imps, and when you hit 10 mana, you get 3 3/2 imps. This card, I don't see anything going on with this unless there's some crazy imp synergies going on. It just seems kind of underwhelming and not really that great. Like, even with the flexibility of a 2 mana 9/6, by the time you're at the 10 mana stage of the game, it doesn't really do a heck of a lot. So I don't know what this is going into. I don't know what this is doing. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, looks like one of the weaker cards in the set, at least early on. Next, we have a 0 mana pre-spell. There have been so many 0 mana pre-spells. Desperate Prayer. This has the holy tag on it, and it restores 5 health to each hero. So depends on what the meta's like. Do you want that extra healing? It's a worse armor vendor in some ways, but it's 0 mana, so you have cards like Nazmani where you can cheat out and discount your hand because of 0 mana spells. Who knows? It could be nuts. It could be bad. It'll have to wait and see, but 0 mana cards, never sleep on them, except usually in Priest, because a lot of them are kind of bad. But this one, maybe not. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Next, we have Razor Main Raider, 5 mana 5/6 Minion Frenzy, attack a random enemy. So if it takes any damage and survives, it will attack a random enemy. It seems like an arena card. I don't see this as like some great card. I mean, if you play it on an empty board and you damage it, it goes face. That's not bad, but I don't know. Just seems like pretty expensive for what it does, and seems more of like, here's the pack filler to show off what Frenzy does, but maybe I'll be wrong on that one. Who knows? And lastly, we have Payon, 2 mana 2/3 Minion Frenzy, add a random spell from your class to your hand. So this seems like a really bad Wand Maker to me. Wand Maker just immediately gives you a 1-cost spell, and this just, you know, it's got to take damage and survive, and I don't know. Seems kind of meh. Seems kind of bad. It's got random in it, so you know I'll love it. But overall, I see when you have cards like Wand Maker, you have these immediate battle cry cards, that something like this is probably too slow. But again, these random spell generation cards have seen so much play, and with like Cobalt Spellkin rotating out, maybe Payon finds a place. So there you have it. Those are my first impressions of the first cards revealed for the new expansion. We'll hit you up with some more once some more cards are revealed. The expansion's looking pretty cool, looking pretty crazy. So make sure to hit that sub button to stay tuned. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.